I worked at Mecca for 5 years. I'm a qualified makeup artist. I obviously did makeup at Mecca as well. So if you are walking into Mecca very overwhelmed and you're looking for the best product recommendations, you have come to the right place. We're going to go through all my holy grails in so many different categories like makeup, hair, perfume, skincare, literally everything, so you can find a product that is best suited to you. So get a pen and paper, click subscribe, because you are going to want to hear what I have to say. Of course, we're going to start with makeup, and we are going to start at the first step. Hourglass Veil Primer is a product that I would have put on 99% of my makeup clients. If you are someone that you're looking for your makeup to last from day to night, if you have a special occasion, maybe it's your wedding, maybe it's your formal, or you're just going to work and you're sick of your makeup looking bad at the end of the day, you need to try this. I will say it is better suited to more of an oilier skin type, but if you are dry, you can try it. Just make sure you skin prep well underneath it. It's actually a very quite thin consistency when you put it on, and a little goes a long way, because the one thing about this, it is pricey. But not only will it make your makeup sweat and water resistant, it does blow your pores, it does help with redness. And the best part about Mecca is that you can get a sample before buying it. It also comes in a travel size, a size that's like technically their full size, and this is a jumbo. But I will say, if you like the product, get the jumbo, because not only is it better value, it's better packaging because you can cut it open and really get every single thing out. It's been my holy grail for years, and I don't know how many I've sold of these, but I honestly need stocks in Hourglass at this point. I will say, not my personal holy grail because I don't have much use for it, but I do want to mention the Stila One Step Correct. Again, a product I sold so much at Mecca. If you struggle with redness, I highly recommend this. This is a color correcting primer. As you can see, there's multiple colors here, including a green. But the best part about this is that it's not going to make your face green, because so many color correctors, they're doing too much. You only want like a light wash, and this looks so natural. So if you are someone that struggles with rosacea or redness, I highly recommend this. Back to my personal holy grails and a product that I love to recommend. If your makeup is looking dull and you need a little bit more glow, the best thing I could recommend to you is putting on a glowy luminizer product in with your foundation. So of course, I'm going to recommend Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. Honestly, pretty much everyone has heard about this and used it, but it's like a wand. It is a glowy product. This is not a foundation. So many people love to think it's a foundation, but it really doesn't add any coverage. It honestly at most just evens out the skin, but it adds a beautiful glow. So of course you could wear it on a day that's like a no makeup day, or if you like very minimal coverage. But what I would recommend to people is putting this on, putting your foundation on practically on top of it, and just blend it together, and it's going to make your foundation have a little bit more life to it. Technically, it's not a primer because it's not going to make your makeup last longer, but it will make your makeup look so much better. I honestly have so many foundations that I like at Mecca, but these are the ones that are top tier. Again, a product that I recommended to 99% of clients that would walk in the door. NARS Sheer Glow Foundation is the perfect medium to full coverage foundation. It can look like skin, but you can really build it up for a full coverage look. But the best part is it's super lightweight. It lasts well on the skin. It has a little bit of hydration. It is more of like a satin leaning on glowy finish. So if you are more oily, I have another recommendation for you. I just feel like NARS has one of the best shade ranges. I could always match someone to a beautiful color, and it just is the best foundation I believe that has ever been sold at Mecca. Like I said, if you are oily, I highly recommend Estee Lauder Double Wear. I don't know why this foundation ever got a bad rep. You can make it as thin as you want. It honestly is not a super heavy foundation. Again, like a medium full coverage, but it lasts so well. It looks good in bridal, it looks good in events. It's just a very good foundation if you have oilier skin or you prefer more of a matte finish. And if you are looking for something a lot more lightweight, this is such an underrated product. This is by Summer Fridays. This is their skin tint, super lightweight, super glowy, super hydrating, great for every day or a night out, because as much as people want to tell you, or I guess like the marketing beauty world wants to tell you, day makeup, night makeup, there's actually no such thing. You can wear makeup anytime. Like I use this at nighttime for night events when I don't want to wear something too heavy. Wear the coverage that you like, wear the finish that you like that suits your skin type, and we'll all be so much more happy. Let's talk all things concealer. Actually, first up, let's talk a color corrector. Color correctors aren't technically concealers, but they're in the same thing. A color corrector is there to help correct, obviously, Claire. In this case, this is a Bobbi Brown corrector. It used to come in a pot, but I think now it only comes in sticks. I could be wrong. This is in the shade Light Bisque because this is obviously made for my skin tone. As you can see, it's like a light pinky, slightly peachy tone. This is made to correct underneath your eyes. 9 times out of 10, most people will want to use a peachy tone underneath their eyes to help cover any darkness. And if you are someone that struggles with putting on concealer and then your concealer looks gray, that's because of 2 things. 1, you are not using a color corrector. And 2, your concealer is way too bright. And the trick to covering dark circles is to not use a too bright concealer. Honestly, it is to use a color corrector. I love this one by Bobbi Brown because it's super creamy, super easy to apply. I really do like the stick formulation because it's just easy to get in there. And I would put this on and then put a concealer on top, and then you will not know yourself, because if you are someone that struggles with dark circles and you have not been using a color corrector, you have been wasting time, but now everything will be okay. As for concealers, I recommend Kosas. Has been the concealer that I've been using for so many years. It is my ultimate holy grail. When you get older, I'm sure a lot of people will relate to this, that your under eyes don't look the same anymore. And before I even get any further, makeup will always look like makeup. And this whole, I don't want a concealer that creases, is actually a very false narrative. Obviously, we want a nice formula that isn't going to get super, I guess, creasy, cakey, dry underneath our eyes. Of course, some formulas are better than others. That's why I'm recommending these 2 concealers I'm about to show you. But creasing is normal. We do have fine lines underneath our eyes. The under eyes are actually very thin skin. So the reality is most things are going to make it look, I guess in the nicest way, worse when you're wearing makeup. That's why sometimes less is more. And that's why skincare is really good as well. Make sure that you're hydrating underneath your eyes. But if you are looking for a concealer that won't accentuate all that because it is hydrating and looks quite natural but still has medium decent coverage, I do highly recommend the Kosas. It just sits so well underneath the eyes. And like I said, especially as I'm getting older, I don't want anything that's going to accentuate any fine lines, texture, dryness. So this has been my holy grail for that reason. If I am looking for something a little bit more full coverage, and by a little bit more, I actually mean a lot more, this Hourglass Vanish Concealer is a really good option. You need the tiniest bit of this because, like I said, it is very full coverage. It can be very intimidating. It is a little bit more of a matte finish, but I don't want that part to intimidate you because it definitely intimidated me. I actually didn't try this concealer till I left Mecca because I was like, I don't think that's for me. But honestly, it is very good. It's very hyped online and I can understand why. Another matte concealer that I did sell heaps of when I was at Mecca, this is the NARS Soft Matte Concealer. If you have breakouts and acne, you need to get this. This is a full coverage concealer. You only need the tiniest amount. And like I said before, NARS do an amazing shade range. They do great complexion products. And this concealer, honestly, there's nothing else like it on the market. And it's just the best. That's all I can say. So like I said, if you have those struggles, I would get this. If you follow me on Instagram and TikTok, which is where I post daily videos of my recommendations and things like this, but obviously in shorter form, you would know that I am a cream blush addict. And actually this year, 2 amazing cream blushes have released at Mecca that I need to show you. First up, we have the Morphe Cheek Thrills. If these colors are intimidating for you, don't worry, there's more neutral ones. They were just sold out and I got stuck with this, but then I ended up loving it. Comes with 2 creams and a powder. This is actually in the shade Cabana Club. And although it looks very intimidating, they are actually quite a balmy, easy to use formula. So please don't be too intimidated. The powder is gorgeous. Honestly, Morphe has been doing a great rebrand and it is really affordable, especially for Mecca standards. So highly recommend. The other blush is the Charlotte Tilbury Unreal blushes. And I'm just going to say the first time that I tried this blush was when the Charlotte Tilbury put it on me. And of course, it's a little bit of pressure to like the product. But when I tell you this is one of the nicest blushes you'll ever use, especially if you like glowy blushes, I am not exaggerating. This is one that I've been using heaps because I love a peachy blush, but as you can see, they are butter. And of course, this is in Peachy Glow. I honestly think Charlotte Tilbury really did need a good launch this year and she killed it with these. It's kind of funny because I actually didn't leave Mecca that long ago, but it was long enough ago that cream blushes weren't that popular. We had a couple, we had the NARS ones, which I do really like, but I don't tend to use in my everyday life. That's why I'm not recommending them here because these are the holy grail of holy grails. But one of the blushes that I did find myself recommending a lot because it was in a good price point, because we didn't have Morphe, were the Mecca Max ones. And especially I love the shade Moody because not many brands do colors like this. So I just wanted to quickly show you. This is Moody and it gives the most beautiful natural flush to your skin. I know it can look intimidating, but once you blend it out, it just looks natural. It just looks like you've gone for a run. It is stunning, obviously blends really easily, super beginner friendly, and again quite affordable. You're probably ready for some cream bronzer recommendations, but honestly there's no cream bronzers that I'm grabbing for 24/7 from Mecca. But I will say I have been testing out this Morphe one. This is the Flicker Sudden Heat Creamy Bronze Stick. It is very creamy. It's a little bit more on the sheer side, very easy to use, very affordable, but I have only just started using it, so it hasn't quite made it there. And I have so many cream bronzers from lots of different brands. So again, really good product. You're not going to be disappointed, but maybe not quite on my holy grail list. And then another one would be the Mecca Max. Again, sold so many of these because they're beginner friendly and more affordable. These are a little bit more of a contour shade. So if you are looking for more something to like sculpt your face, I do recommend this. I know that Too Faced also released some. I haven't used it yet. So if you're in Mecca and you want a cream bronzer or contour, you'll be happy with these two. I have a lot of powders, but I promise they are all different. If you are looking for a good translucent powder that doesn't have flashback, that's going to make your makeup last, mattify, but not fully dry out your skin, Laura Mercier is the one. Again, sold so many. This is actually the rose one, but I'm recommending the normal one, just a normal translucent, but there is multiple colors for different skin tones. I don't know where mine's gone, honestly, who knows, but I have used it for years and it took me years to get through it because I don't need a lot of powder. It's just a great powder, and it is the one that so many makeup artists use for good reason. If you are looking for a powder to add a little bit more coverage, the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Powder, as you can see, I've hit pan. Honestly, I was not a fan of powders that added a little bit of coverage, but this year I'm really getting into it and I can understand why people love this. It is obviously like a light coverage. Most powders aren't going to add too hectic of a coverage, but it just blurs the skin, mattifies a little bit, adds a little bit of coverage, and again looks flawless. So I highly recommend it. If you told me I could only buy one product from Mecca for the rest of my life, best believe it is the Hourglass Ambient Powders. So these are a finishing powder. Like I said, I go through so many of these topics on my TikTok and Instagram, so I definitely would follow them. It's just Claire Bridget, you will find me. But a finishing powder is all about changing the finish of your makeup. And in this case, Hourglass has done it in a way that it's meant to mimic different light. And the best part is, if you don't usually like powder and you think they make you look dry and cakey, you will love these because it adds a glow to your face. My holy grail shade is Luminous Light. Again, I've hit pan. This does add quite a lot of glow and it can be intimidating because it looks like it has a lot of shimmer, but on your skin, it doesn't look like that. It literally just looks like it's blurred and filtered your skin. Most beautiful glow, brings back life. Again, its purpose is not to make your makeup, I guess, last longer. Of course it is to a certain degree because all powders will technically set your makeup a little bit, but its main purpose is to change the finish. So I would personally recommend you go in with something like your Laura Mercier powder if you are a little bit oilier in the T-zone or any areas that you need it, and then you can use this in areas that need a little bit more life. There are so many shades of this, but the ones I recommend, Dim Light is the one that I would always recommend if you have more mature skin. I actually did film a video in store explaining the different colors, so I will post that before this is posted, so you will go on my Instagram and TikTok and get the lowdown and find the shade that is best for you. But I honestly don't think you can go wrong with this, and it will forever be my holy grail and nothing will ever replicate it. But I do have an affordable option for you that, like I said, it will not replicate it, but it will come close. This is the Morphe Cloud Set Powder. This is a little bit more of a setting powder. This actually has talc in it. This does not. Talc helps absorb those oils and actually set your makeup. Again, it kind of changes the finish of your makeup, adds a little bit of glow, but it's not as glowy as the Hourglass, but I am really enjoying it. And I think it still does give you a little bit of sheen to your face, but in the nice way. So maybe if you are looking for a more of an affordable option, you're not ready to plunge into Hourglass, because I do understand that it is a pricey product. I will say Hourglass products last years. Like just how they've made them, I believe they're baked. It takes a long time to get through them. So they are worth the investment, but I understand not everyone wants to spend $100 on a beauty product. That's when I would go to Morphe and try this, see if you like a finishing powder, and then maybe you can go to Hourglass, or maybe you'll just fall in love with this and buy this forever. It is a great product, multiple colors as well. Again, Morphe slaying their rebrand. I love this. This is a funny recommendation because I used to use this powder bronzer nonstop for years. And then weirdly, I moved on to another product that is not available at Mecca when I left. And that product has recently been reformulated. So I am back to this and I'm like, it's just as good. So why did I ever leave? This is the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Milk Chocolate. I obviously have fair skin. So if you have fair skin, this is a recommendation for you, but they do have other colors, of course. But this is a beautiful matte bronzer, blends like a dream, smells like chocolate. And like I said, it's great for fair skin. It gives a little bit of warmth, but it's not orange. As for a bronzer that has even more warmth, again, Hourglass. I love Hourglass bronzers. They have glow in it. That one's matte, this has glow. I absolutely love the shade Luminous Light. This suits like more of a medium skin tone. As you can see, it is marbled, and it is marbled in those ambient powders I just explained previously. So they give like that airbrushed, flawless look. Never looks, I guess, muddy. It just applies the perfect amount of color. It is gorgeous. It is glowy. Some of them are a little bit warmer. Again, multiple shades. It's just a really, really good product. Again, expensive, but worth it. I actually don't have any powder blushes besides this one. I used to always recommend NARS and Laura Mercier, but I haven't been using them for whatever reason. I believe, honestly, both probably reformulated, but I know that NARS has, and I haven't tried it. So if you have tried it and you love the new blushes, let me know. I've heard mixed reviews, but this is a newer love for me. This is RMS. I'm gonna have to read it because I honestly don't know what they're called. Redimension Hydro Powder Blushes. As you can see, this is nearly a highlighter. Also, my hair is absolutely everywhere. Sorry about that. I actually fell in love with this when I traveled to Japan recently, and it is a glowy blush highlighter topper with pigment. So you could wear it on its own, or you could wear it on top of other blushes. So if you are a glowy skin lover like me, definitely check these out because they are so beautiful on the skin. The best part, eyes. I am eye obsessed. I'm sweaty, maybe because I'm wearing a full leather jacket inside. I'm just gonna get these two things out of the way. I am the laziest person in the world. I used to swear by eyeshadow primers. I would never leave the house without an eyeshadow primer, but these days I just put a little bit of concealer, powder it, and call it a day. But if I was going to use an eyeshadow primer, it would be the Urban Decay. This is the original. This is a clear base. Personally, I love the Eden one, which is a slightly yellow base because it helps cancel out any redness or discoloration on your eyelids. So when you apply that eyeshadow, it looks more vibrant. Just had to say that. I also had to say that I'm not very loyal to any makeup brushes at Mecca. Honestly, I could pick up anything and make it work. Obviously, Morphe is great. Mecca Max is great. Go in store, buy something online, you'll be happy. But the one that I am loyal to is this Stila brush. So when I did makeup, I had to have this in my kit. This is a Stila number 30 brush. It is, one side is more of like a flat brush, but actually still has a little bit of fluff to it. And then this is a little blending brush. And this is so great for the outer corner, the crease. It's just a really great eye brush. And obviously it being double-sided, you don't really need much else. So if you're looking for a good eyeshadow brush, this is the one. If you told Claire even a year ago that she'd be recommending cream eyeshadows, she would think that you're crazy because I hated cream eyeshadows and I found them super intimidating, but now I love cream eyeshadows. So these are more recent loves. Actually, they're not recent. I just used to use them as eyeliners, but now I actually use them how they're meant to be used as cream eyeshadows. Kind of the one that started everything. This is the Bobbi Brown in Cinnamon. This is a warm brown. I'll give it a little bit of a swatcheroonie, but I used to sell these all the time because if you're just looking for like a cream eyeshadow to put on that's easy, beginner friendly, then Bobbi Brown is where it all began for me. But if you are looking for a more affordable option, and also I think personally have better color selection, or maybe I just have all the amazing colors, Mecca Max are amazing. They last so well. Again, beginner friendly, honestly, just as good as Bobbi Brown, but at a more affordable price point. I will swatch a couple for you because these are what I've been using nonstop. My all-time favorite color is caramel. This is what I've been putting on my eyes every single day for the last couple of months. It's just like a light, warmish brown. We have taupe if you're looking for something more cooler tone, toffee if you're looking for something darker. And then this one always gets me a million compliments. I think it's Dusty Rose. Yes, I am correct. More of a pinky tone. This is so gorgeous. Again, can look kind of intimidating, but it's so nice, especially if you have similar colored eyes to me, because it really makes your eyes stand out. And if you are new to cream eyeshadows like I was, all I do is put on concealer, set it. I put some of this on, blend it out with a blending brush, and 9 times out of 10, that's all I do. Of course, you could add some powdered eyeshadows on top if you are looking for even more longevity, because if you put powder over anything, it will last longer. But to be honest, in my everyday or even for an event, I am lazy and I find that these last perfectly fine. But as you can see, you do have a little bit of time to blend them out and then they'll set. Like I said, I also use them as eyeliners. Good product, quite affordable. There's also shimmery shades that I personally haven't tried too much of, but when I worked in store, I sold them a lot as well. Another one that I just wanted to mention, I actually have not used this product since leaving Mecca. That doesn't mean it's a bad product, otherwise it wouldn't be in here. I actually just got sent this in PR and it reminded me. This is the black eyeliner that I would recommend all the time. It is by Urban Decay. This is in Perversion. So if you are looking for the blackest black eyeliner, I highly recommend Urban Decay. And before we get on to all my beautiful eyeshadow recommendations, I'm gonna be honest. I like some high-end mascaras. I think high-end mascaras are good, but 9 times out of 10, I think affordable mascaras are the same, if not perform better than high-end mascaras. So it's not something that I'm going out of my way to use these days. But the mascara that I have used very, very often is the Too Faced Better Than Sex Brown. I know so many people that hate the original Better Than Sex mascara, but to me this does not flake. This gives amazing volume, length and everything, but also it is the color. It is a beautiful brown. So if you are looking for a good brown mascara, I would get this. I'm going to rapid fire some beautiful glittery eyeshadows that you need to check out if you are a magpie glitter obsessed person like I am. So this is actually a newer one. This is Too Faced Disco Crush. Beautiful. Obviously Urban Decay Moon Dust Space Cowboy, really iridescent and pretty. And then the ones that kind of started it all in before the trend even began, these are the Hourglass Scattered Light. These are the ones that made me believe that glitter eyeshadow doesn't have to look like 2014, 2016. It can look quite what I like to call it, kind of like a red carpet Hollywood glam. So again, same with those ones, quite scattered, beautiful, and have an amazing shade range. Another new one that I wanted to mention, I'm actually wearing this on my eyes today. So if you were wondering, it is this. This is Charlotte Tilbury. I believe these are limited edition, which I think is very stupid. This particular one is the beautiful Eye Trends eyeshadow palette in Sensual Sunset. I am wearing this color on my eyes. The mattes blend like a dream, but it really is the shimmers that make this palette so amazing. And also the fact that it is so travel friendly. And I know it's controversial, and I did kind of see what people were saying, but the clear top is actually so helpful, because I don't know about you, but when I'm looking for an eyeshadow these days, I just want something that I know is going to work, or if I'm looking for something, I want it to be quick and easy. So with these, I can really tell what colors are in it, and it makes my life easier. This is probably my most used eyeshadow palette, I would say, ever. This is the Too Faced Born This Way palette, and it looks very grubby because I use it so often, which you can see I'm hitting pan on a few shades. Why I like this palette is that the mattes not only blend like a dream, but the color story just makes sense. For me, for an eyeshadow palette to be one of the best eyeshadow palettes and one that I would recommend, is that the color story needs to make sense. We have the lighter ones, we have more pinky tones, we have some warm, we have some slightly cooler. Obviously this does lean more warm. And then we have some beautiful shimmers, which I thought I used to hate, but I will say with a tip with the shimmers is that you do need to use your finger because it's more of like a foiled finish. The other glitters I showed you is more of like a scattered, whereas this is a little bit thicker, if you can see that. But it's still a really great palette, super easy to use, and one that I would recommend to beginners. Also very thin and compact and great for travel. Talking about beginner friendly palettes, and also a good palette for travel if you are an overpacker like me, because they are quite thin but obviously have quite a few shades. These are by Morphe. I've mentioned Morphe a lot in this, but I just feel like they are killing it. This just makes sense, and I am so glad that they brought back some really good eyeshadow palettes that aren't like 30 shades, because we aren't doing that anymore. This is in the shade Flickering Sands. As you can see, you have everything you need in this. So if you are looking for a good affordable eyeshadow option, get this. And then we also have Rose Frequency. There's obviously other colors, but these are the ones that I recommend. And this is more rosy tones. Love both, can't go wrong. Let's talk eyebrows. The product that I always recommended when I worked at Mecca were the Hourglass eyebrow pencils. I'm going to be so honest and real here. I'm not looking for a $50 brow pencil these days. And also their auburn color, to me personally, is a little bit too warm. And that is why I have fallen in love and obsessed with the Mecca Max Auburn Brow Guru. Yes, they have different colors. I am sure that probably, two of you, shout out, comment if you are a redhead as well, have the same hair color as me. But if you do, I highly recommend this. This is what is in my brows today. It's honestly what's in my brows 99% of the time these days, because it is warm and coppery and orange, but it's not orange. There is a difference. It is thin. It is easy to use. I've used it all up. It is creamy without being too creamy. Gives really nice shape. It's just a really good brow pencil, and again, quite affordable. I love it. Let's talk lips. If I was going for a lip balm, I would go for these two, either Summer Fridays or Lano Lips. Lano Lips is a little bit thicker. This is actually one of their tinted ones with SPF 30, because I've realized I don't put SPF on my lips, which is terrible. So this is in the shade Perfect Nude. They also have other colors that are really, really flattering, very nice. Honestly, if I had $1 for every time I sold Lano Lips when I worked at Mecca, I would probably be a billionaire and not have to work. So that is that. Very, very hydrating. And there's something that is very hydrating, but thinner and more of like a gloss formula. Summer Fridays. I know that these are so hyped up, and yes, like $40 for a lip balm is kind of crazy. But my friends and I kind of have this saying that we say, and we've said it about the Summer Fridays lip balm, is like, damn, it's actually annoying it's good, because that means we're going to have to keep on buying it. And it's annoying because it's expensive, but it does look good. I like the clear ones. I honestly, there isn't a Summer Fridays lip balm that I haven't liked. This is honestly, who knows what shade this is. Vanilla Beige. I got it in like a holiday set. It's vanilla, which is my favorite. I had like the birthday cake one with like glitters in it. I think I've lost it, which is devastating. I'm going to manifest it comes back into my life. But really great lip balm, kind of lip gloss, a little bit of lip liner in this, and you're fine. Sadly, worth the splurge. Another kind of lip balmy product, but again, another step into lip gloss. Released this year, this is the Charlotte Tilbury Unreal Lip Oils. It is a lip oil. These have a little bit of color, and they are really, really nice, super shiny. Like so shiny. I'm actually wearing a little bit. This isn't a color cherry, like so shiny. I'm actually wearing a little bit. This isn't a color cherry. I really like the watermelon and strawberry one as well, but they are so shiny. They smell really, really yummy. So if you like nice smelling things that are going to hydrate your lips, I recommend. I have a lip liner addiction. So let me run through the lip liners I recommend. Really underrated, the Too Faced Lip Injections lip liners. You probably have tried the lip gloss once in your life, the one that tingles. If you don't like tingling products, you will hate these, but these are such nice colors and they do plump the lips. The one I was surprised that did launch at Mecca, because I believe they're $10, and I feel like it completely undercuts every other brand there because it is so good and just as good as high end, are the Morphe ones. I have two colors here, Makeup Talk and Honeymoon. I might just do a quick swatch because I know people like to see these. This is Makeup Talk. As you can see, it's been my holy grail for years because I've used so much of it. And this is Honeymoon, a little bit more, I guess, cooler tone, and Makeup Talk is a little bit more of like a mauvey tone. But are really great, like I said, creamy, long lasting, just as good as high end, and I think you should try them. Also, if I'm acting a little bit delusional, let me just check the time for you. It is 9:10 p.m. So don't mind if I start getting a little bit quirky. I will say the best lip liner in terms of colors and ones that I keep on going back to, even if they are at a higher price point, is Charlotte Tilbury, because she does lips so well. The color that I always go back to is Pillow Talk Medium, which I will put over there. It is just such a natural color for me that makes the lips look bigger, adds a little bit of color. It's not super nude that's going to wash me out. And it just pairs with so many lipsticks that I enjoy, which obviously we'll get onto. This is also Iconic Nude. Again, more nude color. Like I said, I'm getting a little bit delusional, but these are really nice. They last really long. And then this year, she actually released these double-ended ones. This is in the fair because obviously I have fair skin. These are actually a completely different formula. I think they're a little bit more waxy. And honestly, I did not think I was gonna like these because they are much more pink. And these aren't hard to put on. It just shows that I have been using it because I need to sharpen it. It is more of a beautiful pinky tone. But when I put these on, it really does liven my face. And I think, like I said, I don't know how she does it, but Charlotte Tilbury just do the best lip products. And honestly, that is the only lipstick I'm going to show you. I will say I love MAC lipsticks. MAC lipsticks have always been a tried and true, so they are amazing. But I do find that the only lipstick I really pick up in general, and also from Mecca, is the Charlotte Tilbury ones. This is In Love with Olivia. This is a beautiful pinky tone. These are the ones that have a little bit more shine in them. They last really well, beautiful tones. Honestly, I could not recommend enough. Obviously, Pillow Talk is so popular and for good reason, but these ones with a little bit more shine are just 10 out of 10. Holy Grail, could not live without them. I wear them 9.5 times out of 10 whenever I'm going out. I also love Dance Floor Princess, which is a little bit more nude. And because I use them so much, I don't know where it is. I just had to search in my bag because that's when you know it's one of my favorite products, when it's in my bag because I'm using it. This is Dance Floor Princess, and I don't have much left because I absolutely love it. This is more nudie pink, and I think these shades are perfect for bridal events. Honestly, anything. They are great and so comfortable. And like I said, my ultimate holy grail lipsticks. We are finally at the final step of makeup. We made it, guys. And sadly, I would have talked about Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. If you have not heard, Urban Decay has reformulated. I don't know when the reformulation is taking place. It has already started overseas. I'm not sure when that will hit our shores, but I can't in good faith recommend this product when I technically haven't tried the reformulation and I know it's happening. But back in my day, I would sell so many of these because we didn't really have any other actual setting sprays. Like I said, and I keep on referencing my other videos, but that's where I do like quite short form, quick and easy educational content, that there is a difference between a setting spray and a finishing spray. Setting sprays actually set your makeup, make your makeup last longer. Finishing sprays just change the finish of your makeup, help it look less cakey or whatever. It's like a setting powder and a finishing powder. Same thing, but I don't know why in this industry that everyone likes to market their thing as a setting spray when it's not. But I will say, back in my Mecca days, Urban Decay was practically the only setting spray and it truly did work. So I am very interested about the reformulation. I am sad, but I'm hopeful that they do come out with something better. But this is actually by Skindinavia. So if this is the first time you've heard about it, you could get something similar or the same from Skindinavia. But like I said, unfortunately, cannot recommend this right now. But I will say, if you are looking for more of a finishing spray that's going to add hydration, take away cakey makeup, this is MAC Fix Plus. This is the old packaging, but this is the ultimate. Melts your makeup, makes your makeup look glowy. It kind of just makes, you know how your makeup is in like multiple layers, kind of just makes it all one layer. It makes it look alive and fresh and not cakey. It has saved my life so many times. It is a makeup artist staple and something I really recommend people try. So I would spritz some of this and then I would go in with a setting spray. This is Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. This is such a good setting spray because it creates a film over your makeup, so it makes your makeup transfer resistant. I usually avoid the term transfer proof because the reality is if you are sitting there touching your face all the time, nothing is going to be 100% transfer proof. Like I said, even with people with creasing underneath their eyes, it's not something I personally believe in. So I will say transfer resistant just to play it safe. but it really does help with making your makeup last longer, look better, and be a proper setting spray. So I'm glad that they have an option that does work. And I've gone through so many bottles of this, so it is well and truly a holy grail that I stand by. And I will say it does add a beautiful glow to the skin as well. It just makes everything look pretty. I'm going to zip through some skincare favorites, then hair, and we're going to finish on perfume. If you are still using a makeup wipe in 2025 and you have not tried a cleansing balm, I don't know what you're doing, to be honest, because it is the easiest way to remove your makeup, remove your sunscreen. I'm just choking to death for a second. That was the universe telling me not to be so mean. But honestly, cleansing balms will change your life, and it is so easy to remove your makeup. So the two cleansing balms that I recommend, one is an online exclusive and one is available in store. The in-store one, and probably the one that made me believe in cleansing balms and actually removing my makeup properly, it is the Clinique Take the Day Off Balm. This is amazing because it does not sting my eyes personally, and I think it's not known to sting people's eyes. Very gentle on the eyes, removes everything, and there's nothing really else more to it. It is a great product that I love. Another one that I love, which is an online exclusive, is Alpha H. This is the one that I'm using at the moment. This might be a limited edition, I guess, scent, you could say, but it is a really, really good product. Again, around my eyes, takes everything off. Everything you want a cleansing balm to do. The only kind of makeup wipe that I would recommend, and one that I bring on travel, this is by Conserving Beauty. This is actually so innovative. You've maybe seen it online because it is a dissolving cleansing wipe, so it's good for the environment. But the way that I like to view it is pretty much a travel friendly oil cleanser, because you know, like KFC wipes. It sounds so bad. I'm going to reference this later with another product, but KFC wipes, like that you wipe your mouth with, it's pretty much that, but has oil cleanser in it. So obviously sometimes traveling with something like this is inconvenient, and I do lots of quick day or overnight trips to Sydney, and these are so convenient for that because you can just bring it. They're quite small, but it removes your makeup like an oil cleanser, super travel friendly, like I said, and it dissolves in water and is environmentally friendly. So definitely something I recommend if you love a cleansing balm and you're traveling a lot like me. Like I said, I would recommend the KFC. I can't take myself seriously. Like I said, I was going to talk about the KFC wipes again because when someone said this to me in store, I have thought about it ever since. Dr. Dennis peel pads are like an expensive KFC wipe. The best part is it is a chemical exfoliator. It's going to help with fine lines, texture, wrinkles, acne, honestly, everything. And it is the product that made me believe in skincare because it gives real results. It smooths the skin. It is just a godsend, honestly. And if you are intimidated by chemical exfoliators, I want to hold your hand and I want to kind of force you to try these because they are so good. It comes in a sensitive version. These are the regular version and the extra strength. To be honest, if you don't have super sensitive skin, I recommend going to the extra strength. They say to use these, daily. Love you, Dr. Dennis. You do not need to use these daily, and probably for most people's skin, 1 to 2 times a week is more than enough. The way it works is you literally open it, and it's a 2-step process of fancy KFC wipes. They're going to hate me if they ever come across this video. You rip this open. It's literally a wipe on clean skin. You wipe it all over your skin. It has obviously all the chemical exfoliants in there. You wait 2 minutes and then you do the second step, put your serums, moisturizer, then go to bed. And obviously the different versions have different ingredients in it, but it has stuff like salicylic acid, probably some lactic acid, all the good stuff. I think the step 2 sometimes has retinol in it. It is just a powerhouse of a skincare product. And like I said, it truly does make a difference in your skincare routine. And yes, again, another product that is quite pricey, but if you are looking to invest into something that will give you results, I could not recommend these more. I sold them so much at Mecca, and people would always come up to me and be like, wow, you really changed my skin with that recommendation. So I'm going to jump straight into moisturizers. I have 2 moisturizers. Clinique Moisture Surge. If you are looking for something that is lightweight, super hydrating, plumps the skin, wears well underneath makeup, you cannot go wrong with this. If you are looking for something a little bit heavier, maybe you have a little bit more mature skin, a little bit drier, I have recently started grabbing my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream again. This truly does make your makeup look amazing. And I have gone to both her masterclass and Makeup by Mario, and both of them use emollient moisturizers. And honestly, there has to be a reason for that. They're putting it on their celebrity clients. It has to look good. So that's what I've been doing. And I have noticed it does make a massive difference in my makeup application. And it does feel really nice. Your skin looks juicy. It makes your makeup last better. Honestly, skin prep is the answer to 99% of your makeup problems. If your makeup is not lasting, it's looking patchy, it is usually your skincare. Last two skincare recommendations. I thought this was the most TikTok, Gen Z, even though I'm technically Gen Z, hyped product that I would not like. This is the Glow Recipe Niacinamide Watermelon Glow Dew Drops. This is technically kind of a serum, I could say, but you can use it as your last skincare step. Obviously, you want to be using SPF before makeup. That is because it adds a beautiful glow. If you are someone that does not like scented products, you will hate this. But if you don't mind a little fresh, sweet watermelon scent, that's kind of fun, you will probably like this because it makes your skin look so dewy, so hydrated. And this is a product that I will slap on when I don't have enough time to do like a full skin prep, but I still want my makeup to look good. Like I said, skin prep is the answer to all our problems. I will use this, and I do really recommend it because I think they were onto something with this. As I mentioned in my concealer part, your under eyes are a difficult area. So using something very hydrating, especially the night before, is something you can do to help your concealer and your makeup look better the next day. And a product that I've really found that I really enjoy is the Summer Fridays Jet Lag Overnight Eye Serum. This is a little bit more hydrating and heavy. I haven't really tested it that much in daytime because, to be honest, I'm just putting my moisturizer underneath my eyes. This is something I put overnight, very hydrating, very, I want to say like emollient as well. I'll show you the consistency because it's kind of like a gel, but it is a little bit on the thicker side. So if you are looking for a nice eye cream that is just hydration, there's no actives or anything in here, I don't believe. I don't think there's any retinol or anything. It's not made for, I guess, fine lines. But the reality is, honestly, most people's problem is dehydration. And that's definitely my problem. And when I tackle those problems, my skin looks much better. Let's talk hair care. And you know it's going to be good because one, these have been used to smithereens and I got them out of my bathroom. And two, I'm not very good at hair. I actually got my hair done today. That's why it looks half decent and why I'm filming this video now. So I want hair care products that are easy and that are going to work. And one brand that I know I can rely on is Kerastase. And Kerastase technically didn't launch till after I left, but I'm so grateful they came to the party. Obviously, this one does not look used because I got this one at an event. It's got my name on it. Sorry, yours will not come with that. But this is the one product that I consistently use. I have my other one in my bathroom. It's there because I use it every single time I get out of the shower when I wash my hair to blow wave my hair. Not only is it a heat protectant, it smooths my hair and it hydrates my hair. It is a one-step product that I know I can rely on and I absolutely love. And by the way, it is the Kerastase Elixir. I always get this wrong. I think it's Ultimoon, whatever. That is the bottle. You will find it. It is such a good product. Another amazing Kerastase product, this is the Symbiose Micro Peeling Cellulaire. This has salicylic acid. This is actually a hair scrub. I don't know if I'm alone with this. I don't think I am, so I am going to share. I have found multiple times that I go to wash my hair and I used to come out of the shower and be like, my hair does not feel like it is washed. It is still greasy, honestly, at the top. And then I found using something like this, I also will say I do like the Briogeo one. It's just not in my routine at the moment. The Briogeo charcoal one, I will insert a photo because I cannot remember for the life of me. It smells like mint. It is beautiful, but it is quite similar to this. It is more like a hair scrub and it is so good as your first shampoo because the reality is if you are styling your hair or even just like have greasier hair, it's going to have buildup. And sometimes the shampoo isn't going to get through that. So I have found adding something like this in my routine has done me wonders. And I really, really enjoy this. It's empty, so I need another one. Another product that I've gone through, this is the Kerastase Premier. This is a conditioner, but I use the shampoo. Honestly, I love every single Kerastase range that I've used. They have a quiz, I believe, online that will tell you what products are suited for you. I highly recommend you do that because I am probably not the person to ask, to be honest. But Kerastase just do great hair products, and I couldn't recommend them more. And that's what I use most of the time in my shower. As for styling, this bottle looks absolutely cooked because I've had it for so many years because, like I said, I don't really know how to do my hair. But this is Hair by Sam McKnight. This is a Cool Girl spray. It's a texturizing spray. It is really nice, it smells good, and it does the job. The only other hair product I'm going to show you, which I swear I cleaned this before I showed you, and my mom's going to kill me for showing it like this. This is the Vader Mini Paddle Brush. This is the best travel hairbrush ever. And honestly, I use it at home as well because it is not one of those annoying travel brushes that don't brush your hair. So if you are someone that travels a lot, or you just want a small brush that's going to perform the same as a bigger hairbrush, but you don't want a big hairbrush, get this because it is honestly amazing, and I will tell everyone to buy it. I think I've been yapping for over an hour, so hopefully you have been enjoying this. Please let me know if you got to this point. But we are going to talk fragrance, because if there's one thing Mecca does amazing, it is fragrance. And obviously fragrance is personal, and I am not a fragrance specialist. I am a fragrance enthusiast, so I would recommend maybe looking these up. You know what? I'm going to commit. I am going to put the notes next to somewhere in my head so you can kind of get a vibe, because I'm not going to be the best person to describe them, but I will give it my best because I honestly think these 5 fragrances deserve all the hype. First up, my favorite everyday fragrance. I was a Baccarat Rouge obsessed person. It is behind me. I have very little left. That's probably why it's not on this list, and I haven't been using it much lately, because when I get to the end of something, I don't know why, I just get scared of using it all up. So I've moved on to something new, but I do think I like this better because it's slightly less sweet, but still vanilla-y, still on the sweeter side, wears really well for every day or a date night, and I'm obsessed with it. So stunning. Like I said, it's a vanilla fragrance, but it's not cheap vanilla. It's like an upscale vanilla that's not super overpowering. So if that sounds like something that you will enjoy, I would definitely go into Mecca and spray this. I didn't know this about myself, but personally, I love fruity fragrances. Who knew? So I'm just going to go through some quite quickly. Tom Ford Bitter Peach. My boyfriend Gus consistently steals this, which kind of hurts my heart because if you know, it is bloody expensive. This is not a traditional peach fresh scent. It's a boozy peach, and that's probably why he likes it. It's a little bit more of like a wintry vibe. Oh, it just smells so good, and I will say these last. So although they are expensive, it lasts really well. Honestly, all these fragrances last, but this one you will smell all day, all night, and it will linger on your clothes. More of a fresher one, if you want to smell like a mandarin. I'm actually not the biggest fan of Diptyque. I love Diptyque candles and their home stuff, but their fragrances, because I was in a store that didn't sell Diptyque back in the day, I never fell in love with Diptyque. I always thought it was maybe a little bit more mature for what I like. So I like a little bit more vanilla, sweeter scents. But I found this is Oyedo. I actually didn't find it. A Mecca staff recommended it to me. I should not take the credit. And this, like I said, smells like mandarin. So if you want to smell like a mandarin, get this. Perfect summer scent. Another fragrance that's a perfect summer scent, but honestly, I wear my fragrances whenever I want, and this one always puts me in the best mood. This is Mango Skin. Again, it smells like mango. It's got a little bit of vanilla in there. Honestly, all these fragrances probably do because that's what I love. It is gorgeous and one of my favorite scents I've ever smelled. I can't believe this is the last recommendation, but this was a recommendation from the beautiful Tracy in Mecca George Street. She's one of the best fragrance specialists. So if you are in Sydney, I'm very jealous. This is Hibiscus Mahajad. This has definitely had a moment lately, and I'm surprised I like this as much as I do because it's honestly quite a floral, rosy scent. And if you are someone that loves walking into a room knowing that everyone can smell you, this is the scent for you. It's not for the faint-hearted. It is quite potent. It is, again, one that's going to last on your skin, last on your clothes. People will be complimenting this even if you're not wearing it that day because maybe you're wearing the jumper that you sprayed this perfume on 2 weeks before. It is that kind of scent, and I love that personally. I think it makes me feel sexy and confident. It is a beautiful scent and honestly worth the hype. That is all my Mecca recommendations. please let me know if you like this video. Please let me know if you've tried some of these products, and also please let me know if you are going to try them, or if you have a product recommendation for me or for anyone watching this video right now. I absolutely loved giving you all my recommendations from my 5 years working at Mecca, also all the product recommendations from being a makeup artist, and since I've left. I love beauty, obviously, and it brought me so much joy. It honestly felt like I was working on the shop floor again, and it made me so happy. And honestly, that just kind of made me emotional because this was my life. I was selling these products day in, day out, and I obviously love beauty, and obviously you love beauty as well. That's why you're here. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, please like, please subscribe, and let me know what video you want to see next. I am still new to this YouTube game, but this has been so much fun. At the end of the day, I'm here to make your life easier. I can understand how overwhelming it can feel walking into a Mecca. There are so many brands, so many products. You don't know what's going to suit you. So that's why I'm here to help you. So thank you so much for being here. Like I said, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.